Hello, KGC fans and listeners. Today, before we get started, I wanted to make a quick mention to my buddies over at Jake Christensen Productions. He does photography, editing, video production, and social media management. And to get the best pictures, like you could be seeing here on my social media here real soon, please contact Jake Christensen Productions at gmail.com or check out his Instagram at Jake underscore problem or probably GPG on Instagram, or contact him at Jake Christensen Productions at gmail.com and get in contact with him if you're in the Spokane Coeur d'Alene region, to contact him about some photography. And also, don't want to leave out my buddy Danny Stefanetti and her new record, 17 Stars, is a single off of there. And go take, she's crushing it, and we love her. Today, I am joined by, as we were talking before we got on here, Tiny Toby. You can go see him. Go to his website for more information. We'll talk all of how he got into being Toby Keith and everything about that. My good buddy Mike Sugg, how you doing, Mike?
I'm doing good, Caden. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you joining on. It's an honor to have you on the show, man.
My pleasure.
Talk to us a little bit about how you got into this singing.
Well, the singing part actually didn't come easy. It was probably about 10 or 11 years ago. People started saying, "Hey, you look like Toby." Red Solo Cup had come out a year or two before, so Toby was becoming, not that he wasn't before, but more widely recognizable. The country fans knew who he was, but all the popular, the younger kids with the video of the Red Solo Cup and everything were recognizing him more. So whenever I'd go out to a restaurant or do something with the family, people were, "Hey, you look like that country singer." And so it just kind of grew from there. I would go out to a bar or something, people would eventually ask me, "Hey, can you get up and sing, American Soldier, or Should Have Been a Cowboy," or something. I couldn't sing, so I actually had to take some singing lessons, guitar lessons and stuff. So I've only been doing it for about 10 years. And that's kind of how it started, is just, going to a karaoke bar and practicing and doing all that stuff. But I've never done anything to make myself, no plastic surgery or anything goofy like that. No, this is what I look like all the time.
Yeah, and you look a natural, my friend, and you look amazing, and you look exactly like him. If I would have said, "Ladies and gentlemen, the legendary Toby Keith," people would have probably said it was Toby.
Yeah,
But
maybe. Yeah, I'm 6'4", I'm 280 pounds. I'm the same size as Toby. So, it really helps sell the show too when you come walking out and, you walk on stage and you're the biggest thing on there. So, it's an easy sell and I enjoy doing it.
so talk to us a little bit about how you got. Did you get the singing bug from that karaoke bar, or or was it a little bit after that?
No, it was actually that. I was stage fright all the time when, you go out to those karaoke bars with your buddies and get drunk and, you get up and sing, Neil Diamond or Great Balls of Fire or whatever you were singing. I would shake like a leaf. I had no idea what I was doing. And then it was a couple of karaoke shows, couple of karaoke bars, and I started, sharpening my teeth on, audience participation and actually making it a good show, doing what I'd want to see somebody else doing on stage. And then it just that's where the bug came from. Before that, I didn't do anything. I wasn't in theater. I wasn't in, I mean, I sang in choir in church, but nothing trained. I was just, kind of had to do it kind of thing.
Yeah, man, and I've seen some of the things that you've done online, just watching videos, and you're natural, man. And talk to us a little bit about some of your favorite songs to cover in a set.
Oh, there's so many. If you've ever seen Toby live, he does all the hits. I mean, he's got like 40 top 10 hits. He's got like 20 number one songs, and every song that you sing it's fun. It's a good time, and it brings out an emotion that somebody in the audience is going to connect to. And there's a lot of them. The military songs, the patriotic songs and stuff. American Soldier. every night I sing that song, I think about my dad, and I think about he was actually served in the Navy, passed away before he ever saw me do my Toby show. But then should have been a cowboy is Toby's first number one. All the songs. There's Get Out of My Car, which is kind of it's never been played on the radio, but it's a great song. People really connect with that song. Weed with Willie. There's so many songs and so many different ways, emotions and stuff. Beers Ago. There's so many of them. Made in America. It's hard to say which one's a favorite, but every song has its different way of evoking emotion with somebody. So that's the fun part about it.
Yeah, when you work on the sets, do you change it? Because I know some artists they change it every night, or they'll change it once a year. What's that set like process for you?
What it is we sit down. I have a 5-piece band, and we're based in Michigan, but the guys get around and we go through the rehearsals, and we figure out, we try to bring the energy up, and then we never let it go back down, and we just try to stay right there. And we don't do tracks on our show. We don't have any of the chains holding us down. So whenever we get to a show, we have a talk back mic on the stage, and we're like, all right, people want to dance tonight. So then we'll do Blue Moon, we'll do Kiss Me Like This, and some of the slower songs, but those people are out there to dance to those. And if it's just a rowdy beer drinking crowd, it's Country Comes to Town and all the other ones, Made in America, or American Ride, and all the other good, patriotic drinking songs that you can do. Red Solo Cup obviously is always in the set, but we try to keep the energy up there. Doing the Toby tribute, we kind of follow what he does, and he was doing the Merle Haggard stuff, and we didn't touch on that a lot, but we'll do the Ted Nugent stuff that he does, and we'll probably follow the set list that he does. And he just released the new album, so Pesos in My Pocket. So we do Pesos in My Pocket, Oklahoma Breakdown, a couple of the other ones we're working on. So we try to keep it fresh. You go to see the show, you're probably not going to see the same show twice.
Yeah, and that's what I love it's like with people like you, how it's so refreshing. Like one of my favorite groups is the Oak Ridge Boys and William Lee Golden and the Goldens, for that matter. Quick plug. You're welcome, boys. And they change up their shows every night, and so that was just a question. But when you get down to that set, and you every night you sing songs like American Soldier and Red Solo Cup, and do you ever is there a night where you might feel a song, like feel a connection with the song, and then the crowd just doesn't, and vice versa?
That happens, but you always, for whatever reason, no one's ever taught me this, but I always wanted to be. I'm a super fan of country music. I'm a super fan of music, live music in general. I try to tailor my show to what I'd want to see. So I'll go up there and I do some hokey, stupid little things, but it's always dancing the line of what Toby would say or what Toby would be doing. It's a tribute to Toby. It's not about me. So the songs, they have to be what the audience wants to hear. And if somebody comes up and whispers, or yells in my ear that, hey, I want to hear, the Taliban song, and it fits, I'll turn around and tell the band, hey, we're going to do this song, and then the next song we're doing that. So it's tailored that way. But sometimes, somebody doesn't know, the Taliban song, and there's some guy in the front row with his arms crossed, and you can't make everybody happy, but you try to do as much as you can.
Yeah. And talk to us a little bit about I understand, because we had a phone conversation earlier, because I thought I had to go through like 20 different people before I contacted you. But when I talked to you earlier on the phone, you had said that you got to meet Toby Keith. What was that like?
Well, there was two times, excuse me, that I met him. And both times I get starstruck like anybody. I mean, if I see a local celebrity at the grocery store, I get all giddy like a 12-year-old schoolgirl. So the first time I met him was actually a buddy of mine had won a radio contest for a meet and greet with Toby. So the day before, the day of, I'm debating, do I wear the cowboy hat? Do I wear the Toby Keith shirt? Do I do all that? At the last minute, at the 12 o'clock hour, I put on the cowboy hat and we went and met Toby behind the stage in Melbourne, Florida. And their handlers, the guys tell you who to go to and what line to stand in and, try to direct you. They say, don't talk to him. Don't, ask him any questions unless he talks to you. There's too many people is basically what it is.
Mhm.
So we were in the last group. We went up there. He looked me up and down. I looked him up and down. I'm just kind of shaky, and he says, how's it going? I'm saying, I'm doing really good, sir. Pleasure to meet you. And he goes, yeah. That was it. That was pretty much it. He took a picture. It's on the website, and then I moved on. The second time, my wife and I were down in Mexico for a family vacation, and we went to Cabo Wabo, and Sammy Hagar, who I'm a huge fan of, Van Halen and all his Montrose stuff and all his, solo career stuff, announced that he was going to be there, which was exciting as all get out to me. But then he announced that he was bringing Toby. So we went down to Cabo Wabo, and my wife and I were out back, and Toby's wife came out first. She came walking right up to me, and she said that it was freaky. That's all she said. And then she kind of stepped to the side. Toby came out with some friends, and the manager of the bar came right up to me, and he introduced the manager of the bar, introduced him to me, and said, "Hey, this is Mike. He's a cool guy." And Toby was having a good time that night. That's so we talked for about 10 seconds, and that was it. And I didn't ask him anything. I really haven't had any conversations with him. But I have met him twice, got a couple of pictures with him, and then moved on. So I've become friends with his some of his other friends and things like that. They've reached out to me. I've reached out to them, and everybody that Toby surrounds himself with have been so professional, so nice and courteous to what I'm doing. A lot of people ask me, does he have a problem with it? He's never said anything to me about it, and anybody who's close to Toby has never said anything to me about Toby saying anything to them, if
Yeah.
that makes any sense.
Yeah. And that much, when you get to meet your, idol that you obviously tribute to, that must, that he doesn't say anything and that he just, that he may not think the world of you, but he also, loves you enough to, you know, uh, to let you still cover his songs, that must
Right.
make you feel good.
Absolutely. Being in the industry, I've had run-ins with different people that have done tributes to other artists, and they've gotten cease and desist letters, they've gotten warnings, they've gotten talked to, they've gotten, goofy stories. They had a scheduled meet and greet, but then their management decided at the last minute not to get these two people in the same room, so they kind of shoved them out the back door with no explanation. Um, so I feel totally blessed that I get to do this without, knock on wood, any blowback. Um, Toby's management had received a letter from some lady on Twitter saying that there's people out there trying to steal Toby's thunder and trying to imitate him. And she tagged me with a couple others on that post. So I saw it, and I immediately went into, oh my God, when she's lying. I never tell anybody that I'm Toby. I never do anything to try to use it for advantages. So I reached out to Show Dog Nashville, which is his record label, who the letter was, or the post was directed at. And they said that they know that I don't do anything negative, that I represent him well, and that we do look like brothers. And I asked them if I could use that on the website, and they said absolutely. So I, in my mind, got a letter of recommendation from the highest that it can go. So
Yeah. And I think that, you're seasoned well. And what I mean by that is, if you meet, if somebody comes up to you and says, Toby, I'm sure and I know that you'd say, I'm not Toby, I'm Mike. You two are two totally different people, but at the same time, you both love music. And I think that's something that a lot of the time people get confused, is that you're not the artist. You're not the artist. You love his music and you love what he does, and you might look exactly like, but you're not him. You're two
Right.
totally different people. And so with that, how does, Mike on stage and Mike off stage compare to each other?
The way that I've been taught, because like I said, in the industry, if there is such a way, there are seasoned people out there that are better, uh, more experienced, and they have a little bit more ways of handling things. Well, one of them was a George Strait tribute, and he said that you have to look at it as a 2 hour act. People are going to the movies, they go to see Leonardo DiCaprio, pretend that he's the aviator, or that Ben Affleck is Batman. It's a release. Well, that's what I try to do on my show. There's a couple of different ways that people do it. There's an Elvis that I know that says, when Elvis recorded this song, when Elvis was in Nashville, when Elvis was doing this in Graceland, he's doing it in a different way. When I go to see that kind of show, it gets you so close to it, but you're not there. I try to bring people there. I try to say, all right, this guy looks, sounds, and acts just like Toby, but when I come off the stage, that's it. I don't drink like Toby does or did. I don't like liquor. I drink beer. So on my show, I have a couple of beers, but that's it. I don't drink when I'm not on stage. My friends and family know that it's not that I don't, I just don't do it in excess. And I'm not saying that he does, it's his choice, whatever he's doing. But I try to bring as much accuracy to the show as I can without crossing the line. I do have to explain it after the show that I'm not Toby. I don't try to pretend to be Toby except for the last 2 hours. And then eventually somebody comes up to me and says, "Oh, I met you in Afghanistan when I was serving in '08." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I appreciate your service, but you never met me. I've never been to Afghanistan. That was Toby."
Yeah.
Or somebody who looks a lot like him and told you that he was him. I don't know. So
And what I love is that you're humble. Well, not humble, but you're honest. Some of these people who, might be a tribute act, like I can only imagine what a Blake Shelton tribute act would. And I love Blake, and
right.
Blake's a great guy, from what I see on The Voice. But I can only imagine what a tribute Blake would do. But talk to us a little bit about how, what you're going to be doing in the next few weeks to a few months. I understand you got some shows coming up.
I do. Um, it's never been a business plan. People always say that, I'm going to do this for 5 years and then I'm going to move on to this and I'm going to do that. I don't have it. I This is just for fun. I mean, I do it sort of kind of like a retirement. I do construction during the day. I own my own construction company, which allows me the time to go and do a show on a Friday or do a corporate event on a Thursday. So that I'm very blessed to be able to do that. I don't have an end game. When the phone rings and somebody says, "Hey, can you do a podcast for me?" I'm like, "Absolutely. Why wouldn't I?" Can you come out to Florida and do a show? We got Wounded Warriors program in Texas that we'd like to have you at. So I'm just kind of going down the river, wherever it takes me. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, and like I said, you're a professional, and I have you ever been out this way to Washington?
I have. I've actually performed there. I've done Seattle, probably 3 or 4 cities in Washington. Um, I've been through California. I did some residencies in Nevada through Las Vegas and
Yeah,
Laughlin and Reno. So I've been out to the West Coast. I don't have anything on the books right now. Most of my stuff with the band is the East Coast and Midwest.
yeah, and we got to get you booked out here in Spokane, man.
Hell yeah, man.
I want to see you live, and I'll contact you with some great spots here in Spokane that I think people would just fanatic you over that you're playing dope.
Well, I appreciate it, kid. Thank you.
But Mike, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And everybody, please go check out Mike. Where can people keep up with you?
The website's got the most up-to-date information. That's tobytribute.com. I'm on Facebook, but Facebook decides to shut me down a lot. They think that I'm using Toby's photos, and I don't. I use all my own images. So if they follow me on Facebook, it's The American Ride, which is the name of the band, tribute to Toby. So I can't use Toby Keith on the title because then Facebook shuts me down. I had, 10,000 followers, and then they shut me down. I started another long story. Anyway, I am on Facebook. Type in Toby Tribute. You can find me on American Ride, Toby Tribute, or the website at TobyTribute.com.
Yeah. And make sure you follow this man. He's not only a great man, but he's a great singer, and he has a gift like none others in the business. And Mike, I appreciate you, my friend. We'll do this again.
God bless, Caden. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
God bless you, and don't forget to come back to the channel for more amazing content and podcast. And if you're in Nevada, go ahead.
One more thing, if you could, anybody listening out there watching the podcast, if you could just send a prayer up for Toby. I know he's going through some health issues right now, but Godspeed on his recovery, and hopefully he can come out there. And if you can't see Toby live this year in 2023 or 24, you come see me.
Yeah. Yes, please send up a prayer for Toby Keith. What a great man. And I saw that he was at a bar in Oklahoma and singing "Should Have Been a Cowboy," and that just kind of made me think that God works I know God works in mysterious ways. But Mike, everybody, please go continue with Mike. Not only is he a great everything, he's a great friend, and he's the friend that you wish that you had, and I have.
Oh,
And I appreciate him. I appreciate you guys. Please go check out Jake Christensen Productions and Danny Stefanetti, and we'll see you on the next one. Mike, thank you, my friend.
take care.
Thank you, buddy.